Oh man, it's raining out there. What's going on, guys? Here at Daily Knife, we are testing out a new knife. We have tested knives from, $10 all the way up to like $260. We've tested folding blades, fixed blades, large fixed blades, short fixed blades. Since doing these videos for Daily Knife, testing these through the ECURT test, it has absolutely changed the way that I carry my knife, the way that my perspective of my everyday carry needs, you know what I mean? And today we're finally gonna do it. We've talked about it, me and Luke, we're like, hey, we've tested a lot of knives, but we have yet to test a multi-tool. A multi-tool is part of my EDC. If you follow me on my personal channel, you know that I carry lots of different knives, and I carry a multi-tool. Well, we got a Gerber today. This is a Gerber multi-tool. This is the Gerber we're gonna test out here. It's a spring-loaded one here. It's called the Suspension-NXT by Gerber. I've tortured my Leatherman quite a bit. I actually just almost electrocuted myself on a battery. That's another story. That's for another video. What is making suspension as well? It's spring loaded. This was a tough one because I was thinking to myself, what do I do when I get a multi-tool? Like, how do we test it? Do we test just the blade because that's what we've been doing? I don't think so. I think it's a multi-tool. We test everything. So when it comes to everyday carry, let me talk about this here. Weight is a huge thing because it's going to be in your pocket. You got to carry it every day. Depending what you're wearing, you might be wearing a pair of sweatpants. You might be wearing a pair of Carhartt bibs. Whatever the pockets have to be, they've got to be able to withstand what's in there. So weight is a very big variable. So this has got a little bit of heft to it, but a lot of multi-tools really do. This one, I'm going to tell you, it's not too heavy. It's not too light. It's maybe one of the lighter multi-tools besides like the stock power pint. The weight is what I'd expect it to be. Size wise, well, that's going to come down to the use. It's tough to do this part of the test because it's going to come down to how well does that size really do, and we'll come back to this one here. But size, it's a larger one. I wear size extra large mechanics gloves, so that gives you an idea like the size this is. Materials, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about the materials. I'm guessing it's some type of stainless china. I pull the blade out. Blade doesn't say. Oh, the blade does say here. No, I don't think that's the. Nope, I lied. It doesn't. So I don't really know much about the materials. I'm gonna guess that they're probably nothing fancy. I'm gonna come back to that one here. I'll let you guys know that later. Ease of use is the easy one here. Well, first off, it's got a pocket clip, so that gets points in my book already. It's easy to get in and out of the pocket. Pull that out, no problems. It is not one-handed, so that's going to dock points. The suspension, the spring, that's probably going to give it points, so I like that. It's not like super hard, but let's see if we can do this one-handed. I'll give it a better score. And for the record, I have not practiced this. This isn't. I gotta do this one-handed. This isn't a multi-tool that I've had any use with yet because it is brand new. I just got it open one-handed. I do like the suspension. That is nice. I wonder if that's gonna be a problem later on here, but let's see here. And close it up here. Ain't so bad. I can close it. So one-handed. I think that's gonna give some points here. Are the tools one-handed? Yeah, sure. I can get the screwdriver out. Actually, ease of use, let's talk about this really quick here. Do they have a lock on there? They do. Okay, so they are locking. That's important. You just got to pull this little lever down. Boom. Can you do that one-handed? Get the blade out there. It's a little hard. So ease of use. I'm going to tell you the ease of use, it's not like the worst. Like I said, I've had other tools that are harder to get into. This one's not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, at the end of the day, most people don't expect a multi-tool to be, one-handed operated. Like I said, if you follow my my personal channel, you know which one I like the most. So I found it on Amazon. Here it is showing around $60, $52 if you want the stainless one. Between $50 and $60. That's not a bad price for what you're getting here. So what do you get here? You get a screwdriver. Looks like it's just kind of a fixed one right there. What else do you get here? You get a awl. I believe that's an awl. Let me pull it out here. Yeah, some type of an awl. You got kind of like a measuring pry bar type thing. And on the back of that, it's got a little file. That's not too shabby. We got 3 tools on that side. When there's the knife, so the knife is serrated, and so it's a multi-style blade. What else we got in here? Let me close that. If I don't cut myself on camera here, that would be embarrassing. Do have a scissors. I think a multi-tool with the scissors is really good. A little that is though. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like how small that is. I do not like the size of that. All right, we got another type of bottle opener, can opener. These are not very easy to get into. You get the old thumbnail. All right, and then some type of pry bar. Looks like it could be a box opener. So there's the tools on there. Quite a few tools. I gotta go to the store, get a couple items for the culinary use of this test here. I'm gonna put this back in the pocket. I'll see you guys in the kitchen.
This video is brought to you by Voyage Blade Works. We're gonna be releasing the Avius very soon for pre-order on our website, thatknife.com, or you can go to that QR code right there. Back to the video.
The ECURT test, I failed to tell you guys that. The ECURT test stands for everyday carryability. That's, we're testing that. The culinary usage, we're testing the culinary use of the knife. How well does it work? You know, chopping through some food and just your culinary prep. The utilitarian usage of the knife, you know, everyday carry, things you do with your knife. The rugged ability, and then a torture test. Yeah, we're gonna drop a brick on this at the end of this video, so make sure to stick around for that, of course. All right, got the tool nice and clean here. Still kind of wet, actually, still dripping water. So category 2 has to do with the culinary use of the knife. You know, because a lot of times our knife or our EDC tools, can second as a, culinary tool. So we're gonna start out by cutting through some meat here. I got some beef, Johnsonville. Go ahead and grab the blade out here. I'm telling you, it's not as easy. I'm so used to a certain other multi-tool that I'm always using, and this one's a little hard. We got a smaller blade on there, of course. Let's kind of see how that goes. Super sharp. All right, went ahead and I cleaned the blade again because now we're going to be cutting through the food part here, and go ahead and start cutting through here. See how it works. The blade is short, but it's not really giving a problem as far as cutting ability. It's super, super sharp. And it is brand new, so that always makes a difference. I am finding myself a little bit of a hindrance because I have to kind of roll it. The blade is just a little shorter than the meat there, but it's not really a bad problem. Cutting through there, yeah, oh, okay. All right, so cutting through the meat, a little bit of difficulty here, but hey, it's doing a good job. If a one and done tool, hey, it's doing a good job as far as doing what it needs to do here. Let's move over and cut a tomato and see how well it does slicing. Again, it's a short blade. I don't think we have any other blades or anything that we can use, so we are kind of stuck with this one blade. Wow, it's very slicey though. Look how thin I can make that. So definitely a slicey blade. Yeah, there we go. Okay, all right. And then once again, getting into the thicker parts here, kind of harder to cut, but not too bad. Okay, the problem I'm having is the blade is super short. It's kind of awkward to also cut because I'm so used to, cutting, but it's not too bad. No, as far as, like I said, sliciness though, yeah, it works pretty good there. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of that blade. The serrated edge definitely helps for sharpness though. Let's go ahead and see how it does with cheese here. That serrated edge might help a little bit here, so go ahead and cut through some cheese here. All right, as fashionable, cuts right through the plastic, no problem. Oh yeah, ooh, a little bit of bending. I'm not gonna lie, this knife is not doing good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little troublesome. It's cutting through the cheese. I would say if it was a thicker part, I'll be honest with you, this is definitely not a win in my book. It's doing the job, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna be really nitpicky and say it's not doing the best of job though. The true test is bread, and that's usually where you see a serrated edge, so let's kind of give it a chance here, but man, ooh, look how small that blade is. Yeah, this might be troublesome. Yeah, I mean, in a pinch, this is okay. I'm not gonna lie. It works. It's working, but I would not be suitable for this. I am not a fan. I'm not it's cutting. I mean, it's kind of a crappy cut though, and it's so short. The blade on this for food prep, not a good blade. I mean, it's sharp, don't get me wrong. I don't know how long that blade will stay sharp, which we'll find out as this test goes on. Everything else did okay. Let's see how it does for chopping though. I got a cucumber here. Oh, chopping, this thing's doing great. This cucumber size, no, this is fine. I definitely would say it's cutting, it's sharp enough, but I'm not really a chef or a culinary prepper. For camping wise, if I had to use this knife, it gets me by, but I don't think I recommend that blade at all for food prep. All right, so trying to close this, it is super tight now. I don't know if it's because I got it wet or if it's food in there. For food prep, I do not recommend this. This is now actually hindering it a little bit. And this lock here is super hard to close. I am not liking this. I mean, that actually kind of like, I don't want to sound like a wimp, but that kind of hurts a little bit. I don't recommend this. I don't know how long that blade's going to stay sharp. It did the job, but I don't recommend it. It's sharp, but that's about as far as I get. I don't think it's really very useful. Not a fan of it. Hopefully the rest of the stuff on the knife does a lot better. Look at that. It's like, it's sticky. Maybe it's because it's wet, or the lock is, I don't know, but it is not working. This is, wow, it's like stuck. Let me dry it off a little bit and see if it does better. Oh yeah, it's like, now it's super hard to close. I don't know if that's because it got wet or it's got food in there. I don't recommend folding knives, but I don't think I can recommend a multi-tool, at least this specific one here. We'll have to try out some other ones and see how well I do. Let's move on to the rest of the test. I think it's going to keep raining today, but I want to get outside because I just want to enjoy the weather. Let's talk about this tool so far and kind of get an idea what my thoughts are for the everyday carryability. It is actually a couple days later, so I've had it in the pocket. I haven't been like using it, but I wanted to kind of feel how it felt in the hand. And first thing I noticed, man, that in the pocket when I got it there, and I put my hand in the pocket, it's kind of tight because of its large size, and also like to have my main knife in the right hand pocket. So it would have to be a side pocket or a pouch to really get some more points on here. Let me show you something here. When I say show you something, let me talk about kind of the ease of use. And as I go back to that, I gave it a 6.5. And the reason I gave it a 6.5 is, well, it's two-handed operated. I think the tools to get in here are not quite as easy. And after leaving the culinary usage here, the knife was so sticky. The locking is, like the unlocking, it's just not as clean as I want it to be. So gave that a 6.5. The weight though, I think the weight definitely an 8. The size, a 7.5. And the reason, you know, as far as carrying in your pocket, not so bad, but use, I think is great. I do like how wide they are. And of course that spring is huge. I think that is good. I gave it a 7.5. I wanted to give it an 8, but I think just for like in the pocket, that, And the materials, they feel very cheapy. I kind of looked them up. I did a little research, and let's just say the 6 is where I'm just gonna stick with that one. The price, the $50 to $60 range, a 7. The price is great for what you got here. There's a lot of stuff in there, and for like a, I won't say one and done, but you know, could be like a one and done tool. Yeah, $60, not too bad. There are a lot of things that this knife could potentially save on other tools. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Going into the culinary use here, I will say multi-tool in a pinch, definitely going to be fine camping, going to be a fine tool. But I went ahead and I gave the meat cutting here, I gave it a 5. I did not enjoy it. I did not think that was great. It worked, so I mean obviously that's fine, but it just didn't do what I want to do. There's so many other knives we've used here. That one didn't do so good. Cutting the cheese, I get it at a 5 as well. I mean, it's a sharp object, fine. It just didn't do good, and it got gunked up inside the pivot there. Was not a fan of that. I didn't like that at all. Like I said, once it got wet and everything, it just made the lock hard to unlock, and I just wasn't a fan of that. Of course, hard to open up one-handed. It just, yeah, just wasn't a fan of that. As far as the tomato, it was really slicey. So of course, behind the edge, how sharp that is, that grind that's on there. I don't know if you can see the grind, but definitely a good blade for that grind though. When it came to the bread, I gave that a 5.4. Oh yeah, for the slicing of the tomatoes, I gave that a 6. The bread, it didn't do so well. 5.4. It cut it, yeah, but it kind of gnarled it up a little bit here. Chopping, I gave it a 6. It did okay. It just isn't a chopping knife. But hey, if you're in a pinch, fine. I don't think folding knives, especially a multi-tool like this, is good for food prep. But if you're camping or you're stuck and you don't have anything else, absolutely, it's fine. It'll do the job. Let's go ahead and move things up here to the utilitarian use and see how well this thing does as far as what I think it should excel in. These scores may not be way up there, but I think an overall though, we'll see. Guys, if you haven't done so here, make sure to go hit that like button, hit subscribe. All right, let's go ahead and see what this thing does for stripping wire. 2 different ways to do this here. So because it's a multi-tool, we can kind of switch it up a little bit here. Really quick here, snip. I kind of like this a little bit better. It's kind of like the tool. So like I said, since we are using a multi-tool, we can kind of use this a little bit differently here. So we can get down on the table here and see how well it does with the little pieces. All right, go a little bit deeper on this one. I think this works a lot better than the blade. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So as far as wire stripping, I like that a lot better than using a knife. Definitely a smoother process. You can kind of choose how light you want it, and man, that is way better. I'm enjoying this way better, and this is typically what I would do for wire stripping. It doesn't actually have a piece inside there for wire stripping, but definitely doing a lot better. So we got a couple options here. So when it comes to stripping, what do we want to use? Do we use the blade, or do we want to use a different tool that's inside there? These tools are a little hard to get out. So I'm gonna just do, I'm gonna try, no, I don't like that one. What do we got here? I thought I saw one I liked the other day. Let's try this one first. So what's nice about this is it's not cutting it through, but it could be, you know, poorly cutting, scraping or scratching what's down there, which you could probably do the same thing with the knife as well. That lock is just not, I'm not a fan of that. Going back to the knife, and see what happens when you use the knife. It scrapes it, and then it also cuts it. So I think, because we're using this multi-tool, I'm gonna go back to, what tool did I have here? Let's go back to this here. That actually is working a lot better, because it wasn't like wrecking the sticker, where I could actually just scrape it right off. Okay. That's where the multi-tool really is coming in a lot better. Of course, like I said, I can scratch that off. Yeah, there we go. We got that sticker off with no issues. So going to the rubber hose, I think we got to use the knife for this one here, and that's where that serration is going to come in handy. If it's a little bit longer, man, that'd be a lot better. That cut really good, extremely good. Let's see if I can try to use the serrations. Nope, I don't have to because it's so far back. But that blade is sharp. Okay, cutting hose, wow, that did great. Let's go with some leather cutting, of course. Use the knife on that one. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this because we can. Let's just try these little scissors here. So you want to cut some leather. Not really the best of tool. I can see it's kind of having some troubles here. The scissors are way too little for leather cutting. So scratch that. And let's go to the knife. We know that knife is sharp, so let's just see here. Super sharp. That grind on that blade is immensely, is that even the word to use? I don't even know. It's just so much better. All right, do the full 4 fold over. See what it does is cutting the leather there. Yeah. Blade, did great. The scissors, not so much. That the grind on that blade is definitely made for this type of usage. Let's go ahead and cut some cardboard here. I don't like that I have to use this two-handed, man. That to me bugs me. Just see how well it does this cardboard. Oh yeah, nice and sharp. Okay. I just cut a chunk out here. So cardboard, not too bad. It's uh-oh, there we go. I think the serrations help. It's just, I don't know. There we go. Something about that blade is just not, I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. Hey, it's doing the job. Oh, I mean, as far as cutting through the cardboard, it's doing its job. Kinda. Uh-oh. There we go. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. It's it keeps snagging, and I think what's happening is it's getting to the here. Yeah, and it's something about in there. It's just not working quite as well as I want it to. If I push it in there and in there, it's like the transition. I think it's the transition between the serration and there. I'm just not a fan of that, and it's not ergonomically fresh. Not ergonomic. I can push it in there and it's cutting it. It's a sharp blade, but as far as cutting cardboard, put that in the garbage with it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use that for breaking down boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score that here for you guys. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, it's a sharp object. It worked. I gave the wire stripping a 9. That was absolutely great. I love being able to use the pliers for that. That's where I think the multi-tool definitely comes into handy. The scraping, headlocks, the different options. I gave that an 8. Rubber hose was phenomenal. Gave that a 9. And the leather, the scissors, I mean, we're not going to judge that. We're going to use the knife for that one. And give that a 9 as well. Let's go ahead and check out how rugged these materials are and test it out. All right, let's go into tip prying right away here. And we don't have to use the knife for this because we got lots of other tools. We got scissors. What's this one right here? That might be perfect for pulling one of these out here. See that? Get right underneath there. Boom. All right, that one came out really well. But here's the trick. See how far that one is? All I got to do is that. And then don't have to use so much pressure on there. Open this up. Boom. That's where I think a multi-tool is just absolutely awesome. Let's try a different tool since we're in here. That one was perfect. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better tool to use that one with. Let's see. That one might be a little long. The only issue is it's hard to get in and out of here. All right, here's the, was that the awl? That one's sharp as well. Get that underneath there. So you just need to pop it just enough to go boom and boom. There we go. That is a huge win. So in my opinion, that wins. Okay, going over the coat hanger. So let's close this up here. The coat hanger, normally we would use the knife, but hey, we got some snips in here. Let's get right in there. This is the way you should do it. There we go. Let's do it again. Ooh. Okay. So, how'd it hold up in there? You know, I actually did all right. It didn't break it like I would expect it to, so that's a huge plus. Okay, rope cut here. Tried that out here. Of course, we're gonna have to use the blade for that one because it's serrated. Wow. That serration makes a huge difference. I'm usually not into serrated blades, especially for EDC, but for this usage, that's a huge win. Okay, serrations on a knife, that is what they're for. And let's move right over to the zip tie test here. And because we got different options, I wanted to kind of use the snips there. Of course, that's what they're for. We saw it do a coat hanger, but it's a little... Okay, I mean, it's working there. Okay, that works just great. And get inside there. Okay, so that's a little tight. So, it's a multiple reasons, multiple usage, or whatever you want to call it. That's just out of curiosity. Let's try out the scissors. Scissors, oh wow, scissors are sharp. And get in there, boom. That is, yep, that works great. Okay. And that's where the scissors definitely, wow, they're sharp. Okay. See, this is where I really expected this to do really well. So building a fire, I totally forgot to check out the feather sticking. And let's see here. Get the blade out for that. Just need little pieces to start the fire. And this is that grind. That grind is exactly what this is made for. Oh yeah. So you need a small fire. Perfect. You want to get that all off there. There you go. Little pieces to start your fire. All right. Yeah, this is feather sticking. Wow, this is where this is definitely a camp knife. Okay. All right. I like that. Let's talk about these scores here. All right, so this is doing way better than I could have expected. So as far as using this thing, tip pry, you got lots of different ways to do that. I went ahead and give the tip pry a 9.5. The coat hanger, it didn't mess up that little cutting edge at all. So I went ahead and gave that a 9.5 as well. The feather sticking, camp knife all over here. I'm going to go ahead and say that definitely deserves a good score. It did exactly what I would expect it to do. I'm going camping with that here, and I'm going to give that an 8.9. Zip tie, lots of different options. Again, multi-tool, I'm starting to like it now. Starting to like it a lot. I give that an 8.9, and the rope, that serration, gave that an 8.9 as well. All right, let's go ahead and torture this here. I say torture, do things that aren't really knife things. For some reason you don't have a drill on you and you need to use your tool, but you got your multi-tool, or, well, in this case, the multi-tool, or a knife, or whatever, your EDC item. Well, this one luckily has a screwdriver, so let's just see how well that does. Oh gosh, yep. Yeah, screwdriver, it's just not even a question. I mean, that's just exactly what I would think to do. And if you needed a little more help, and you needed to open it up a little bit, need a little more leverage, I guess you could say, open it up, and there you go. Oh yeah, this is exactly what a multi-tool is definitely winning on. All right, so we take it out, really easy. Let's go ahead and see if we can put it back in there. And I think this one, I don't really think I would call that a smasher, but let's just see, well, let's just do it right here. Because it's a multi-tool, it's fresh spot. Probably don't even need to do that. I was doing it mainly for the other videos, is because, well, I didn't want to cut myself on a sharp blade putting it in here. So driving it back into the wood, yeah, this is great. Yeah, so I say this, and in some of the other videos, would I build a house with this? Absolutely. This is so far, in all honesty, I would take this building a house over a knife, but I take the knife to do culinary uses, where this is not a culinary tool, I've noticed, but everything else is just doing great. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can chop through a bolt with this. I don't think so, but I like that it's got a lock on there, so well, let's just do it. Normally, the blade's bigger, but all right, well, here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3. I had high hopes for this, so I'm trying it. Look at it, did to that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that is actually, that's in there. Wow, nuh-uh. Okay, so that actually did a lot better than a lot of other knives I've done this with here. And actually, it's hardly doing anything to the blade. All right, I'm gonna find a nice fresh spot again. That actually worked. Let's try it again here. What's nice is I can kind of just drop this. I just gotta hold this up and down here, so that doesn't even hurt the hand. Let's try it again here. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Best one yet, I think. Holy smokes. Okay, and I can put an edge back on that. Wow. Okay, so this is I think probably one of the best ones I've seen. Okay, it's actually cutting through. I don't think we can get all the way through there, but let's just. I'm curious. Now I'm curious because it doesn't hurt. Oh, I'm digging down in there. Look at that. It's actually cutting through there. That is phenomenal. I think if I kept at this, I could probably actually get that all the way through. Wow. Let's see what I did to the lock it all. It actually works better than it used to. I could put an edge back on there. I am thoroughly impressed with that. Okay, and there's the little cut. I am thoroughly impressed. All right, so you don't have an axe, or maybe your axe broke and you got to use your knife, right? You got the multi-tool. Let's see, where's that knife at here? And I'm gonna lock this. Let's just see what happens. All right, let's see if we can get through this board here. Oops. Oh, broke it. Okay, timeout. Are you telling me that this was literally this little piece of plastic holding that lock in there? Nuh-uh. Oh my gosh. That's bad. That is bad. Sorry. That just... Now this is... I had high hopes with this. Oh, and we broke the lock in. All right, hold on. We're breaking the heck out of it now, and it shouldn't be. So I think I just I broke the lock loose. Everything is... Did everything come out? Yeah, I think we busted the lock. So now all those tools are now just loose. Also, I don't like that. Okay, I was having high hopes for this. And that little plastic piece used to sit right here. That broke. Okay, that's a fail. I mean, I'm not even going to go any further. Now that it's broke, it's going to be a little harder, but I don't even have a lock on this thing. But if it wasn't broken, and I was trying to get these weeds out here, oh man, I don't like this. Oh, I think this would be a lot better, but I don't like having these weeds in my rocks over here, so I grab my knife and I dig them out. Normally that would be a lot easier, but not today. Not today. Can we use any other tools? Maybe we could just use this. That kind of works. Yeah, that'd work. I can scrape in here a little bit better. Okay, that works a lot better. So digging in here, multi-tool's got a lot of different options. If it wasn't broken, I think it'd do a lot better, but that's all right. Well, I guess it's time to see if this thing can hold up to a cinder block. Well, here we go. Let's keep things consistent. Head high. 3, 2, 1. And just scraped it up a little bit. Okay, double or nothing. Three, 2, 1. Okay. It can't do a batoning, but it you can take a cinder block. Yep, that'll take a cinder block. So don't take this thing camping if you don't have an axe and use it as an axe. It didn't even hardly do much of that pocket clip. All right, come over here. Let's get to the tailgate and let's talk about this. All right. Enough of that. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm somewhat impressed, but also very unimpressed. So the everyday carryability did okay. Culinary, nah, it's not a culinary tool by no means. As far as utilitarian use, this thing soared. Besides the cardboard, the rugged use, this thing's pretty rugged. As far as the usage that we did there, that's where this thing definitely, it was way up there. The torture test though, digging, I gave it a 6.9. I think if it wasn't broken, it would be just fine. And it has lots of different options, so you have to use your blade for that. Batoning, I gave it a 0. I mean, it broke the main thing, and it actually rendered the knife and almost this whole side, all the tools are now not able to lock anymore. So I gave that a 0. It was out. Screwdriver, 9.5. I mean, screwdriver was perfect, had lots of different options. The size of the screwdriver, as far as the, what do you call it, like the bit size, whatever, perfect. Bolt chop, I think if I sat here long enough, I could probably get all the way through there. Yes, it muffled the blade a little bit, but I give it an 8 because that was probably one of the best I've seen a knife do. It was going through that. And the brick drop, I give it a 7.5 because it's still, let me check this out. It still works. Like, it's still a usable tool. It is bent a little bit, but that's expected. Actually broke the brick a little bit, so I'm not gonna lie, I started out with this test extremely unimpressed. As the test went on though, man, I started to like it more and more and more. Like, it excelled in so many different things where it just didn't do good in others. So that's what's cool about a multi-tool. I think if you were to everyday carry a multi-tool, I'm curious to see what other ones are out there and how well they do. This one might not be the one, but there might be a better one out there, guys. And if you have any options of what you guys want to see or what multi-tool you'd like to really test out here, drop down in the comments below. I am certainly with chainsawing. It's still early in the morning, guys. Come on, let's go. I'll wait. Guys, if you guys like this type of stuff, go down in the comments, give us a comment on the multi-tool you want us to see, or any other knives you guys want to see, or everyday carry items that you think would actually do better. And one very important thing, it helps us a ton. Make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. We appreciate that. And take your gear beyond the pocket, guys. Have a good one.